Hello, hello, Gemini. Welcome to your March 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Gemini. And before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You will get more readings from me, and also check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing if you would like more readings, more card pulls, more good stuff from me. And I also have some exciting stuff in the works. I have a few classes that I'm going to be putting out, among other things, and a la carte clearings are coming back, all good stuff. So go ahead and sign up for my newsletter, or you can go to onyxhealing.com to get on the newsletter as well. Let's get into this. I'm going to lay this spread out and then we will get started. Okay, let's go ahead and start with your oracle cards. First thing coming up is Lizard. This is actually coming up as playfulness to me. I'm just getting that it's like you enjoying yourself, having a good time. There's somewhat of an energy of the Sun card coming off of here. And so I think this would be a great time to take a break. It would be a great time to relax. It would be a great time to just hang out with friends, do something fun, or plan something fun. And you might find that there's a lot of benefit from that, or it simply leads to other great things. All right, and then we have Can't Be Caught. Yeah, so it's just kind of like you're skating through the month. It's not showing up as anything super intense or work heavy. I mean, we'll see once I read these cards, but for now, this is really playful. There's a childlike energy to it. So this seems like it's going to be playing out as a lighthearted month. Let me see what else. Reflection. Take time for deep thoughts and notice the ripples you create. Softly mirror your truth to the world as you discover it. Yeah, so that's the other thing. It's more of a discovery month. It's not intense or dark or anything like that. It's like things are coming to the surface. All right, and then the central energy we have is the Four of Swords. Yep, this is sticking with the same thing that I just mentioned. Recharge, recoup, regenerate, fill your tank, enjoy yourself, have fun. While this does have a tendency to come across as a little bit sleepier than usual, that's not what the other cards are indicating. Let's check in with the crossing energy. We have the Five of Cups. So you're going to have to check in with yourself and just ask, am I focusing on things that are not working for me? Am I focusing on all of the stuff that I have to do, or am I focused on the things that are really exciting to me? I think that's a bit more of the energy that you're confronting. And so even if there is a lot of play energy surrounding you this month, or that you're doubling down on, it's going to be important for you to just check in with yourself and ask, am I trying to escape? Am I using pleasure as a means to ignore my problems? Or is this something where I'm filling my cup? It's gonna vary between everybody. What you have shifting out is the Ace of Swords, new ideas, big picture. It seems like this is inspiration. So there was like an aha moment that came up. And so I see this as maybe this is you waking up to the fact that you're not playing enough, or you haven't been enjoying yourself enough, or you haven't been filling your cup enough. This is all coming back to how you give to yourself matters in the month of March. The oncoming energy is the Star. So this is what you could call the destiny or fate card. You guys know I don't put a lot of pressure on that, but this is a signal to relax, like relax into the solutions already existing. Relax into things just working out for the better. Rest in knowing confidently that what is meant for you is already coming to you. And that's what the star helps remind us when we're in times of deep stress or uncertainty, or if we're feeling lost. It's kind of like everything behind the scenes is working for you. And the more you can relax into that, the better off you're going to be. The outward manifestation is the 10 of Wands. Okay, yes, so this is definitely in alignment with the need for rest. You might feel as though there's always going to be 50,000 things on your to-do list, which is why you have these playful cards coming up. And that's also why you have the star. It's like, just because things are busy doesn't mean that's permanent, or just because stress is something you can always tap into doesn't mean it has to be that way. So just understand that you are in more control than I think you realize. In the subconscious, we have the Page of Swords, needing to do things differently, pursuing different ideas. I'm going to clarify this. The High Priestess. Yep, so we're getting back into how you think about it and what you're creating with thought, you know, the belief system alone, the way you're writing the rules for yourself. The High Priestess is helping you tap into the truth, right? Because anytime you're having fear-based thoughts, or, you know, the I'm only focusing on things that aren't working, any thought like that is not ultimately true. So it goes back into, I think, play is what you always have the opportunity to tap into, especially with Gemini energy in particular. And that's kind of the saving grace, is just learning through this process how you can ultimately fill your cup through means of enjoyment and celebration, and rewiring how you're thinking about it by taking your attention off of the stress, being consistent with your responsibilities. Of course, you don't want to bury your head in the sand, but it's about, the difference is, I'm telling myself a sad story about the fact that stress exists in my life, and I'm telling myself a story about the solutions that are already happening, the way that this is going to work out for me, even if I can't see it. Those are two completely different experiences, and those are two different stories that you have the opportunity to tell yourself. And I'm just getting that, like, a driving factor here is you need to find a way to enjoy, play, get back into that childlike energy of not knowing anything but this is going to work out. It's that eternal optimism that we can tap into, and that's what the High Priestess is helping you get back into. The Page of Swords, the way you're thinking about it is what's transforming. The advice card is the Knight of Pentacles. Know that it takes work, know that it takes effort, and that's okay. You know, not demonizing this or not looking at it as a bad thing, that you might need to give this some attention, or that it might be a practice. Let's see what's going on in your environment. The Magician. Aha. Okay, so now things are really getting interesting now that we have the Magician on the table. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's kind of like you could be thinking yourself into a tizzy in March. It might be something where the stress that you're experiencing externally is simply from overthinking, overprocessing, which is something Gemini energy has a tendency to do. And the Magician is just reminding you, hey, whatever's sitting in your environment is going to be a direct reflection of either how you're thinking about it or the story that you're telling about it. Those are big, big, big factors. Because two people can have the same circumstance and situation, but the way that they create through that is completely different. The meaning that they assign it is completely different. So you want to focus your attention and energy on, how am I actively creating this in order to benefit me, rather than just think myself into a hole, right? And the more you can move away from that, the better off you're going to be. Which is why we go back to play. We go back to, we're gaining wisdom in March. We go back to, how can I make this more enjoyable or transmute the energy. And then this is the hopes and fears. We have the Page of Wands. I'm going to clarify this one. Nine of Cups. The Page of Wands is usually an evaluation card to me. It's like, oh, I'm going to inspect it. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to check it out. That's what the Page of Wands really has a tendency to do. And the Nine of Cups is like the Make-A-Wish card. It's fulfillment, happiness, being able to get the things that you desire. That is what the Nine of Cups does for us. And so the Page of Wands is just having you kind of check in. Are you evaluating what you're hopeful for? Or are you evaluating all of the things that could potentially go wrong, which is more of the flip side of it? You have to check in with yourself and just see what is that, and then the solution, this is coming up as advice in order to clarify, is to focus on what is your ideal, what is it that you do want, what are you asking for here, and that is going to be the best thing that you can focus on for yourself. Because it's like if you spend 100% of your time focusing on potential things that could go wrong or might go wrong or might not work or anything like that, you're not going to be able to enjoy the play energy that's on the table, and you're not going to enjoy the rest that you deeply need or the recharge time that you're implementing. So that's the advice here. And then the outcome of the month is the Five of Pentacles. I'm not going to leave you guys with this. This is kind of like, the way I'm reading it is like the last breath of whatever program this is, but I'm going to clarify it for you as well. And we have, Seven of Swords. So I like this as a way to clarify the Five of Pentacles, because the Seven of Swords has some sneaky energy on it. So what I'm getting is that the Five of Pentacles might be a sneaky belief that kind of creeps in towards the end of the month that you have to work through. So it is like the other piece of it, or the other thing to resolve. And you guys know I'm all about like working through things, healing things, resolving things, and that's what this month is providing. This is a big, big practice in how you are spending your mental energy, what you're focusing on, how you're creating with it, and knowing that what you're giving attention to will grow. That is just a principle that is going to ring very true for you in March. And the Five of Pentacles is simply the remaining fragments of anything that may have been hidden. So you're seeing that be uncovered. So you have the opportunity in March to work on this, which is exciting. Let's get into the timeline. So this is the first quarter of March. We have the Four of Crystals, control and security. I think that you might be more inclined to just do things how you've been doing them at the beginning of the month, but let's see what the second quarter has. We have the Shadow, self-empowerment, ambition. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing here is that you might realize some of the shadow elements that are coming up from the Four of Crystals, which might be too much constriction. But the good thing about this is it helps you tap into a sense of security and stability. It's just that you don't want to contract to the point where it doesn't feel right for you. So the Four of Swords is the need to rest, the need to relax. At the beginning of the month, you might be bringing something else into the month of March. This is also the tail end of Mercury retrograde. And so then by the time the second quarter comes around, you recognize what hasn't worked. So again, it's that unveiling energy of the systems and programs that are going on mentally that either are or are not serving you. And then we have in the third quarter, the Ace of Crystals, manifestation, prosperity. This is also initiation and planting a new seed. And it's that fresh energy of, oh, I'm going to pivot. So I think there's deep reflection happening in the first half of March. And then by the second half, there is initiation or implementation of something that you've probably decided on or figured out is going to work better for you. And then the final quarter, we have the star, peace, healing. So you have 2 stars on the table. And I love that this is the way you're wrapping up the month, because it's kind of like you ultimately have the opportunity in March for this to be a month where you float and enjoy yourself and allow yourself to fill your cup and feel into some of the things that you're realigning, and trust that things are working out for your highest good, and that that is the reality of life. Or it can be something that you completely resist. So remember, you are still in the driver's seat with how you use this, because the entire way that we saw this reading get set up was with 2 play cards, or there was this playful, childlike energy to it, and that is still absolutely true. It's just a matter of whether or not you're using it, capitalizing on it, and really feeling into that. Now let's do a 3-card pick. You are welcome to pick a card that's calling to you, whatever feels good to you. Ask a question. And then just go ahead, if you need more time, pause the video. But here's card number 1. Daughter of Cups. So this is the Page of Cups. This is also the childlike naivete that we all miss and we all need in our life from time to time. And so you kind of have the opportunity to find solutions through going back to basics and just checking in with yourself. If you knew you could not fail, what would you do? That kind of energy. If you knew that nothing could go wrong, if you weren't completely jaded, not saying you're completely jaded, but about whatever it is you're asking about or whatever you need help with, what would you do in that instance? How would you be? How would you ideally want to be in the world? Card number 2, we have the 6 of Wands, victory, celebration, evolution. This is getting out of, maybe something sticky or frustrating and evolving into bigger and better. So this is a big level up for you, whatever it is that's going on, or this is a success card. Card number 3, we have Temperance. So balance is the name of the game. You're going to need to consider multiple perspectives and then identify what it is that you need more of. This is about weaving in an element that maybe you haven't been doing previously or that you have been missing out on, finding a way to tap into that and use it to your advantage. It's not about 50-50, it's about identifying what's missing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, everybody. I really, really appreciate you more than you could possibly know. And I do, as I said in the beginning, have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I have a manifestation class that's coming out. I have just so many things in the works. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing and sign up for my newsletter to get the best prices, stay up to date, the best time slots for all of the stuff that I have coming. And until next time, have a beautiful, beautiful March, everybody. I am sending you so much love. If you need to submit a prayer request, you are more than welcome to do so at onyxhealing.com. All of the links for everything is in the description box below, as well as a list of all of the decks that I've used today. So you're welcome to check that out if you liked any of the decks that I've used. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.